I don't know if service accommodation will be around in 10 years. Buy-to-lets, they've got 1,000 years of evidence, measured land values since the Doomsday Book. Don't underestimate the average of the 5 people you spend your time with. He nicked the radiators off my wall, stripped all my wires out. He'd installed the kitchen in his house.
If you're serious about property, you really should be attending the shows. We attract the very best from all corners of the country and have created a collaborative atmosphere where property people can grow as a professional. So, with that said, the last call to attend the Property Developer Show 2025, our final stop is Leeds on the 8th of October. We'll of course have multiple expert speakers, opportunity to network with like-minded developers and meet service providers that can help you become a better developer. To book your free ticket, go to the website propertydevelopershow.co.uk. I look forward to seeing you there. Welcome to another episode of To The Point. Today I'm joined by Jamie York, who is our episode 66. So if you want to hear more about Jamie, feel free to check out his full episode. It's a great episode. Jamie, welcome to The Point. It's very much what it says on the tin. It's to the point. This is going to be a quick episode for your and also the listeners' benefit. The way this works, I'll ask you a question. You've got 2 minutes to answer it. If you've come in before 2 minutes, don't worry about stretching it out. Okay. It's the 2 minute cut-off point. That's the important because it's to the point.
Let's do it.
If you were starting again in property, what would you focus on?
Strategy, or how do I approach it?
How do you approach it?
First of all, I'd want to expose myself to as many people as possible that are operating in the space. I would keep your credit cards at home for every event that you go to, including mine, because there's so much opportunity out there and you need to get an array of what's available to align it to your strategy. Next thing I'd do is I would align that to your skill set and connections. So if you're a good communicator, deal packaging is going to be great. If you're a hyper analytical person, maybe some bits like service accommodation or some more complex ratios will be really good for you. Then the thing is, I'd go all in on investing in myself. And I know I'm an educator, so probably coming off a little bit there, but go books, YouTube, find the person that's going to coach you and mentor you for your first year, and then go all in. And then don't underestimate the average of the 5 people you spend your time with, and understand your network is your net worth, which I know is so cliche. But if you can really double down on who you're going to spend your time with and the money you surround yourself with, you'll be really successful. Final point within that is have a look at your circle you spend time with already. I always measure this on who do you spend more than 3 hours a month with. As an adult, this is who do you spend 3 hours a month with, and giving them a tick if they're a massive plus to your battery pack, a minus or a cross if they are not, and a dash if they're in the middle. And the idea is you need to turn that cross into a tick within a month. And if you can't, you need to either get that person out of your life or massively reduce your time you're spending with them. And yes, that goes for if they are a family member as well.
I love it. Great answer. Next question. How did you learn about property?
So I was exposed to property from a relatively young age, in the fact that most of my family, half are on benefits, half use their hands. So builders, plumbers, scaffolders, electricians. So I was exposed for it for quite a long time. And then also Homes Under the Hammer, got obsessed with it, absolutely loved it. I think it was 10 a.m. every single day, and I'd love it. And then when TV could be recorded, that was even better because I could watch it when I come back from school. And I mean, I loved it. And I'd watch Martin and Lucy give all this advice. Everyone ignored it, and they still made money. And I was like, this is brilliant. So I learned about money as a vehicle fairly early on. But again, all I thought of was buy-to-let or flips, because that's pretty much it. And really it was rental or buy something, do it up and sell it on. You didn't really have the terminology. Then when I started exposing myself to the right people around me, and I realized there was so much more available. And so that's how I originally got exposed into property. How I really learned about it was by putting myself in environments and rooms where people were teaching it. And it just seemed fairly logical that if I was going to be a banker, what would I want to do? I'd go and work in a bank and learn from bankers. If I was going to be a doctor, what would I do? I'd go and learn from doctors. But people don't really do that as an entrepreneur. You don't go, I want to be an entrepreneur, so what do? Oh, I know, I'll just go and try it. It's like, no, I'm going to put myself in a room with people that are entrepreneurs, specifically in property, and I'm going to see what they do. And I listened. I think a key skill that most people really lack is the ability to ask a great question and shut the fuck up. A big believer, you've got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Use it in that ratio, you'll be okay.
Is that a hint to me?
Yeah, sorry, mate.
Super, another great answer. Next question. What is your favourite property strategy and why?
This is going to be so boring. I won't need 2 minutes for this. Buy-to-lets, boring vanilla buy-to-lets. I love buy-to-let. There's some really cool stuff. Like if it were, I'll tell you what, it's buy-to-lets. And it's because I can near guarantee you success with buy-to-lets. I cannot do that with HMOs. I cannot do that with service accommodation or any other strategy. I don't know if service accommodation will be around in 10 years. I don't, with the hotel pressures and everything like that. I really love it, but I don't know if it will be around. HMOs is changing so radically what a HMO even means. And so people get drawn into this high spec stuff, but it's only the best in the city until the next one comes along. And suddenly you've built your entire model on achieving £1,000 a month rents for your room. And now you're shocked that a year later they're getting 800 a room and the market's changed. No, you're just not the best anymore. So buy-to-lets are they've got 1,000 years of evidence. You know, you've measured land values since the Doomsday Book in 1066. It's almost 1,000 years of evidence. And the past doesn't guarantee the future, but it's a fairly good fucking indicator, right? And so I like my money to be invested in really boring, tangible assets that I can pretty much predict to the nearest £1,000 a year what your returns are going to be. And I can't do that with anything else. And so for me, I'm a big believer in my fast money, my active money being fast and active, and my passive money being really passive. Outside of that boring answer, which is the advice everyone needs but not everyone wants, if I were to pick a strategy outside of that, I would do really unique serviced accommodation. And so for me, I do like tree houses in the woods, like really luxury tree houses with really good service levels. And I've seen some out there in our country and other countries where people, like you pay like £1,500 a night for it. And I do something really unique. And sure, I might make money, but really just for the passion of it.
Yeah. I like that. Great stuff. Perfect. Bang on. 2 minutes. You said that wouldn't take 2 minutes, and it did.
It did.
That's your longest answer yet, that one.
That actually is.
How did you do your first deal?
Very badly, actually. So again, as I said, the first deal was watching Homes Under the Hammer. I was at university at the time, and year 3, I was like, I can do this. And so I worked to save up. I saved up about 19 grand. And then I was like, right, let's get started. Turns out I couldn't get a mortgage. It was a little bit harder than you thought. Shock horror. So then I thought, right, I'll look in the UK for where I can get properties for 19 grand. And I managed to find one, 36 Burdett Street in Burnley. It was £21,800. It was a 3-bed mid-terrace property. So I agreed to buy it. And then literally I borrowed 500 quid there, 100 quid there, 50 quid there, bought it. And then I didn't have any money for the refurb. So my mate's dad bought me a toolbox and a rickety old van. Not nicest gift I've ever had to use. And a sleeping bag. And he was like, go on then, go get on with it. So it was literally YouTube videos on how to rewire a house, everything like that. And I was working cash in hand to get paid and go do it. And I fucked everything up. That probably doesn't come as a shock. So long and short of it is I ended up driving. I was living in London. The property was in Burnley. I was in my 3rd year at uni. So I was driving up on weekends and it's 240 miles, give or take. And I'd sleep in the back of the van. Wicked experience, terrible outcome. Next door neighbour, a guy called Steve, was like, I'll do the plastering for you and I'll fit the kitchen. The two things that I just couldn't figure out how to do, really. I was useless at plastering. Paid him upfront cash, because why wouldn't you? Turns out he did not do either. And in fact, he nicked the radiators off my wall, stripped all my wires out. And he was a kitchen fitter. To be fair to him, he was a kitchen fitter. And what he'd done is he'd installed the kitchen in his house. So that was the first deal. I lost about 4 grand and 10 months of my life and fucked it all up. And then 2 years away, sorted my mindset out and gave it another go.
Fucking hell. Steve, if you're watching,
Fuck
give
you,
him his,
Steve.
Give him
Steve
his kitchen back.
Ash, probably 38.
Oh, great.
I'm not even sure his name's Steve Ash. Don't go for it, Steve Ash.
Yeah, Steve Ash on Facebook is going to get absolutely hounded after this episode. Oh, funny. What's your favourite property book? You haven't authored one yet, have you? So you can't even answer it with your own.
I wouldn't answer my own anyway. I've actually written one. I just never released it. It's 140,000 words. It is a full operations manual. So it's a terribly boring book, but it's good if you want to make money. Never released it. I don't know. Most of them are pretty shit, if I'm honest, but mainly because they're just used as lead magnets.
Best business book then?
I'll give a couple, if that's okay. I can do it within 2 minutes. Yeah. So if you're at the beginning of your journey, you just want to be really inspired. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is like the gateway drug into the entrepreneurship. It's a really, really powerful book. Just getting your mindset in the right place. I think 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is a must read. It's a book that you really do need to sit down and take it in. But if you want to be top 5%, top 1%, you really need to take that in. The Richest Man in Babylon is one of my favorite books by George Clason that ever written. Really, really good. How to Win Friends and Influence People. My ego really came up with that book. I'd take it off my bookshelf because I was really worried that somebody that didn't know what it was would read a book about making friends. But it is an exceptional book about communication and building genuine relationships. I think everyone should read those books. E-Myth Revisited is absolutely brilliant. It's a book in 3 parts, so you can read the part that you're at. Most of you will be in the first third of the book, or it's really about being the entrepreneur before systems, processes, and everything else. And then linking back to a property book, Rob and Rob are really good. Rob Dick's Property Hub. Their books are actually really decent books for the average individual to hone their skill. So there's a handful.
Yeah, good. Some real classics in there. I like that. So, final question. Name 4 people, dead or alive, you'd have a sit-down meal with.
My dad. That'd be a very weird conversation, but nice. And I think that'd be really cool to know like what he liked, what he feels I could have improved on. You know, the usual questions a guy would want to ask his dad. Obama, I think that'd be really cool from a, very first black president. What did he go through? What's it like being that level of leader? And, how did he try to keep that many people happy? I think that'd be a really interesting one. Warren Buffett, I'd give everything, my entire net worth, to have a lunch with him. I really would. Just an incredible human being. Jimmy Carr. I wanted a bit of a one that was outside of sphere. Just a really intelligent person, like incredibly intelligent person, very philosophical individual, and just hilarious as well. And I'd just like to know him as a person and what he went through in the journey of becoming a comedian, and not just a comedian, like arguably one of the most famous in the world at what he does. And I'm really obsessed with people that become part of the 1%. And I'd like the idea of meeting somebody that's so far away from the field that I'm in, but he's so intelligent, and what made him go down there. So that's 4, I think. Great answers. Yeah, it's always interesting to hear who people pick. I find it's quite a good insight to people and thought patterns, what they're into, and really get sort of under the hood in terms of what's going on. So no, great answers. But I appreciate you coming on. To the point, as we said, episode 66 for your full episode. Appreciate it. Great to be on.
Thank you very much for tuning in. Another episode to the point. We'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.